to this episode of The Sovereign Light, named after my ministry, and this is a course in metaphysical spirituality, and my name is Reverend Maria Arvanitidis. Won't you join me here today for 329, lesson 287? Yeehaw!
All right, we got it.
When energy, vibration, and frequency are not thriving in the fullest capacity from self-potential, addiction towers over its every experience and gives it relevance with attachment. So where is it that you feel you might have these kind of attachments? Join me. This here audio-visual version of my book. Take a nice deep breath in. And out. And once again, breathe deeply. And find that center point within your heart space center and anchor and ground and vibrate out with every breath in and out. And let's say these words out loud. I feel complete within the Holy Trinity of my field. I stand connected as one, moving with certainty and purpose. And take a nice deep breath in. Stretch. I feel complete within the Holy Trinity of my field. I stand connected as one, moving with certainty and purpose. I feel complete within the Holy Trinity of my field. I stand connected as one, moving with certainty and purpose. In previous pages, I suppose, previous 10 and 21 lessons, all gadgetry and devices from escaping reality were touched upon. The preference of living in another world outside of the one that the self is experiencing, the movies and types of genres to theme out its existence by escaping the one it must actually be engaging with. Habit-forming practices can become realities. However, the self must recognize just where it actually becomes a codependency. Today, make the practice of awareness to anything that might be standing in the way for further examination. For example, what might be some of the emotional attachments that might be given relevance to weaken and instead of strengthen for the self? Food can come in many forms to matter over the energy, and from these nutrients is the only focus, rather than to the pleasures that gives from its emotional comfort with. See it for what it is, not just for what it disguises over and as to making the self feel like. Discern for what intention requires attention and give it. For example, could it be a metabolic detox? Food, nutrition has an energy to give to, and within the molecules and atoms, the electrons and so forth in the ionic sphere, that then creates the protein, a feeling from it. This feeling creates an emotion that the self can then actually have. From the mitochondria that gives it energy. Page 781. I feel complete within the Holy Trinity of my field. I stand connected as one, moving with certainty and purpose. What is this feeling of emotion that might be experienced and as having another connection to than that of its own system? What is this other connection that then forms another mind of its own? In this case, it is food, and yet in another, it might be smoking, taking pills or drinking, and they can all be toxic. The connection perhaps to become synchronized with, better yet, the understanding that the lack was in the breath. And the mindfulness it did take to focus on the need to meditate. What could it be that the self is screaming out for, and in the suppression of its voice perhaps? Today, be mindful and progressive of the underlying intention, and to help synchronize with the consciousness, those levels that need focusing on to help bring the body with it, from fluid, solid, and or breath. The signals will be given from this information, whether it be energy from protons created as carriers through the ingesting and or other toxins that will store away, and that of which the self might have thought it once had cleared away to now revisit. Today, become mindful of what goes into each and every vortices that interlace the torso with and thus connects into its field, that which is impressed upon the circumstances as well as perceived physical matter. The purpose is to bring into harmony that which was being left out or rejected from the self and its external circumstances, to falling short into codependence. I feel complete within the Holy Trinity of my field. I stand connected as one, moving with certainty and purpose. I feel complete within the holy trinity of my field. I stand connected as one, moving with certainty and purpose. I feel complete within the holy trinity of my field. I stand connected as one, moving with certainty and purpose.